All right. So I think first I need y'all to check your material. Make sure you got your materials correct. So number one, you should have the color notes. Okay, color notes. Number two, you should have objectives. Objectives. Okay, the ABC one. Okay. Then number three, you should have exercise book. Writing one. No color one. Okay, writing. You're good. So these are the three materials you have. Okay, so I think I'll start off with your exam formats. So you have to understand like what kind of papers do you have, then what kind of questions will you see. So because you're new to your form 4, right? Okay, so this first term exam, right, I would say your midterm exam might not be a full format. Okay, might not be a full format, meaning your teacher will come up with a little bit of this, a little bit of that, not the full SPM format. So we will have paper 1. I'm just gonna randomly write here paper 1, here paper 2. Okay, so paper 1, right, means all the ABC lah, the circle one. You will have in SPM you will have 40 questions, but because I think this is first term, you might not even have paper 1. You will just everything in gabong into paper 2, which means you start with maybe like 20 questions of objectives and then the writing part. But let's just say it's a full format, so there will be a 40 questions of objective. Okay, 40 questions of objective. And then paper 2, right, you have section A, section B, section C. Okay, so section A means experiment question. Experiment question, like asking for hypotheses, asking for manipulated variable, responding variable, that kind of thing. And then section B is basically theory lah. You study, then you know. You don't study, then you don't know lah. Is the knowledge. And then C is what we call essay. Okay, so essay includes 2 types. Essay first is a whole experiment, like you need to do from A to Z. Okay, a whole full 10 marks of experiment, which you need to write from hypothesis, aim, manipulated variable, blah blah blah, all the way down. That's what we call question 11. It's a compulsory question that you must do. And then another 2 more questions for you to choose. That means in total section C you got 3 questions. So the first question you must do. The second and the third one you can choose either one. So it really depends to your school exam, because some schools they don't give full format yet, so probably you won't have this part, or even you have also, you don't need to choose, you just have to do the exact one question. But we will choose either one, so there will be a essay question. Okay, so this will be 10 marks, this will be 12 marks. So the essay is like you study, you know lah, you don't study, you don't know, that kind of thing lah. There's no format or one whatsoever. It's just question, answer, 12 marks. Okay, so this is basically the structure of your exam paper lah. Okay, so objective, right? I gave you all this. Let me get to the objective. Okay, I give you all this one, right? Chapter 1 to chapter 4. So I actually put a lot of questions into each chapter. This is for you to really get into every corner of the chapter. Trust me, when you finish all this, you feel that you have probably already studied everything you need to know about the chapter, because it's a lot. There's like what, 60 questions, 63 questions, let's say. Then each chapter I have about that number. That's quite a lot for you to get in touch almost every corner. Okay, so go ahead, go home, please help yourself, take some time. Since you have time, you can start earlier. Please finish up the objective, and then of answers for you to check lah later on in the website, the same place where you come into the meeting, right? The class. There's this link where you can click to go into the PDF, and then the answers, it will be there. Okay. So paper 1 or objective for you to settle. Okay. So section A, experiment. Section B, theories. A and B is what we usually do, all the writing one, all the answer, long writing one. Now, section C, experiment is also one of the focus today. I want to start off with this one. I want to show you how you should write a full steps of experiment from top to bottom for 10 marks. So make sure you're okay with the steps. Then that will be your experiment question. Okay, so I think I'll start with this one first, then later I go into your chapter 1, chapter 2, chapter 3 like that. I go chapter by chapter to do exercise, okay? You good? Right, so that's the breakdown of your paper and what we're going to do today. Okay, so therefore I need to go to right behind to actually page 40 first. So you can actually go to your exercise book, this one. Okay, just go all the way back, just maybe flip from behind. You should go to 39, 40 actually. I think I wrote the wrong page, it should be 39. So everybody, you'll go from behind, page 39. Okay, so chapter 1, no experiment. Chapter 2, no experiment. Chapter 3, there you go. There is one experiment, which is called pulse rate. Chapter 4, no experiment. Chapter 5, no experiment. So I guess most of the schools, your exams will be until the most will be chapter 5. So long story short, for your midterm, for your upcoming exam, you probably will only have one and only experiment, which is chapter 3, pulse rate. So it will be super easy. You can actually just memorize the whole thing and just write the whole thing in exam. Or today I'm supposed to teach you how can you use the same method to answer different questions. In future, of course, now you have only one experiment. You can just memorize. Okay, but I think you need to know the basics of how you form all the answers, right? So, Form 4 Chapter 3, pulse rate, right? There is a few factors involved: gender, boy or girl, on your heart rate, and then age, young students or teacher, for example. And then we have physical activity. That means what you do, resting, walking, running, and then we will measure the pulse rate. So these are the factors. Okay, so the question is actually here. I'm going to show you by using this. So you can go to the last page also. Okay, but I need to... Okay, let me create another page. Okay. So you probably go to the last page. Do you find any empty space? Maybe you can find any empty space to write the page after. Is there any empty page? I think so. It will be. Okay. So get an empty space. I'll show you how to do step by step. Okay. So obviously this is about pulse rate. Okay, so there's only one experiment so far. So Darius followed his young brother and his mother climbing stairs to their home at the 4th floor. When they reached home, right, they saw that the mother and the brother was gasping. So mother is like, oh my god, very tired. And then the brother is like, hey, why? Nothing normal, right? Just four floors, right? Then Darius wants to investigate how pulse rate is related to mother and brother. So meaning you need to know what factor is this. Okay. And next thing is, no matter what question gives you, what kind of story it is, you have to go back to your original experiment. Meaning today is mother and brother, right? But you're not going to talk about mother and brother. You're going to go back to your original experiment. It's about student, teacher, and laboratory assistant. So in future, in Form 4 and Form 5, there's so many experiments, there is 20-ish experiment, right? The question comes out with different story one. They won't be so straightforward. They will give you a story. And from that particular story, you need to know which experiment it is about. So in your brain, you need to flip, is this chapter 2? No, chapter 4. No, I think it's chapter 6. No, I think it should be 7. So your brain need to go through the whole book and understand which experiment is this. And you're never going to talk about the story. You understand? So for example, I'm not really going to test on mother and brother and ask them to run the staircase one more time and then, no. We are going back to the original experiment from your textbook or from your workbook. There's this book where you have a lot of experiments. That's your experiment wajib. Okay, so remember that. Don't follow the story. You have to go back to original experiment. Okay, so there you go, understanding what the story is and relate to the experiment. Okay, so the next thing is, before you even start, you need to figure out your manipulated variable and your responding variable of the experiment, because that's your, how to say, that's like the soul, that's like the main thing of the whole experiment. Okay, so manipulated here will be the factor that you are testing. So mother and brother, obviously we are testing, sounds like gender, right? Boy and girl. No lah, we're actually testing age here. I think we're testing age. Okay, because mother is gasping and then brother is normal. Then my responding variable is pulse rate lah. I want to test, age and pulse rate, see how it affects. Okay, these two are the most important, the backbone of the experiment. This is always your first step, everybody. No matter what experiment, this is your priority, which is to get your manipulated variable and responding variable. Okay, you good? Okay, so after that, let's get into it. So A, right? Problem statement. Okay, so I'm gonna go to my empty page. You all got any space for writing, or get yourself like a test pad or something? Okay, so this will be okay, problem statement. Now remember, problem statement has to be a question. You have to ask a question like, is this blah 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 blah? Are those blah 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 blah? Will this, you want to start with words like that. So usually that's the guidance. But your answer or your wordings must relate manipulated and responding. So now you want to ask a question. Really meh? Really meh? Age will affect the pulse rate meh? Really meh? Mommy, brother different meh? So you want to ask like a question. You all get it? So including the words that we use to start off will be like, does age of a person affect? So I'm using my manipulated and responding. Okay, so I'm going to start with does. Usually that's the easiest one. Okay, does the age of a person affect the pulse rate of a person? There you go. Okay, so you see, I'm within my range, right? I'm talking about age, I'm talking about pulse rate. You see that? That's like the two main thing of my experiment, the backbone of my experiment. So I'm making use of manipulated and responding. So I won't get away from the path, I focus, like I know what is my manipulated, what is my responding. I should be within the path. Okay, great. So you're good? You all can write down on your paper. Hi Annabelle, welcome in to 1 to 4 class. Where's everybody? So sad. You're good? Then like we go to B already. Okay, so like B, shall we? What's B about? B is about hypothesis, right? Hypothesis. Okay, like hypothesis. Hypo. Okay, hypothesis. So hypothesis is about two types of method. Number one, usually we just do the. Okay,
we just do the as in like the higher yeah, that's called the. Or the other type, we will usually go for statement, but I think that's okay for now, because this is obviously a the sentence, because if you can relate these two, you can relate age. Pulse rate is about, the older you get, right, your heart rate will be slower one more, because old already ma. So when you're older, your muscles get weaker, right? When your muscles get weaker, then obviously you have slower pulse rate. So I think this is you can do the. Okay, so like let's incorporate your manipulated and your responding together. Okay, so where did it go? Okay, so what is it? The older, the higher the age. No, should be the older the. You can do the other way around. You can do younger also. Okay, the older the age of a person, the older the age of a person, the lower, right? The lower the pulse rate. Okay, so I'm within my frame now. I'm talking about age, and I'm talking about pulse rate. There you go. Okay, you good? Okay, then we go to C, shall we? Okay, so what's C about? Like, now, based on the given experiment, given statement, design a laboratory experiment to test the hypothesis by using a stopwatch. Okay, so stopwatch. Okay, so this is the measuring instrument. So no matter mother or brother, we are going back to your basic, which is student, teacher, a laboratory assistant. Okay. Yeah, so we are not actually talking about mother and brother. Okay, so like continue. Question says aim of the experiment. Okay, like C1, aim of the experiment. Excuse me. Aim of the experiment. Okay, so the way to start off is always like that, to study or to investigate or to find out. Usually I'm just going to stick with the same mode, to study all the time, to study. Okay, good. Okay, so to study what? So to study, again, I'm still in my frame, to study manipulated and responding together, like how do they relate to each other. Okay, so to study we're still sticking to age and pulse rate. Okay, so to study, yeah, where did you go? Okay, to study the relationship. Usually this is how we always start off lah. There's another way to do it, is effect. So you have to see like which is more suitable, to study the relationship or to study the effect of manipulated and responding. Okay, so I feel like this current question, relationship is okay, is more suitable. So to study the relationship between age of a person relationship between age of a person and pulse rate. Okay, good. So I'm still within my manipulated and responding. Okay, manipulated and responding. Yeah, so there you go. You'll get the idea now, right? I'm still within the frame. Okay, so then we need to go to C2, which is variables. Okay, after this, you all can write first. Then we go to variables. There's usually another way of asking later. I'll show you. So you finish your C1, okay? Okay, you good? Okay, let me get back to this part. So sometimes variables, this part, right? Question will give you another way of asking. Sometimes they will say factor that is observed or factor that is changing. So when you see factor that is changing, that actually means MV. Okay, or factor that is being observed, RV. Okay, meaning sometimes you can see questions like that, identify variables, or question might break it down and ask for these two. So you have to know factor that is changing is your manipulated variable, factor that is being observed is your responding. So it's just a different way of asking. Okay, I'm just showing you sometimes question might change, but they actually mean manipulated variable and responding variable. Okay, so for now I'm just gonna break it down. We will do manipulated variable and responding and constant. We do all three together. I mean, you can only do 2 in exam. You can do 2 for 2 marks, but I'm just gonna do extra so you can see the 3 different answers. So C2. Okay, C2. We start off with manipulated variable. Which is, we already found out the answers earlier on, right? So that's the main point of it now. So now you know why that 2 thing is so important. I'm still in the frame. I kept using the same thing. Do you all realize? Okay, that means this method will be the same for all experiment in future. Form 4, Form 5. With all experiments combined, this is how you do it. The same method. Okay, so manipulated will be H. H, or question could be changing to like the factor that can be, or the factor that is changing. Then it's H. Just a different way of asking. Okay, then continue. We have responding variable. Responding variable. Okay, so already got the answer just now, which is pulse rate. Constant variable. Constant variable means things that should be fixed or things that should not change. Okay, things that should be fixed or things that should not change. You good? Okay, so constant variable here will be how long you carry out for the experiment. So let's say we all have to fix at a time. I'm just gonna do it in, let's say, 2 minutes or 1 minute or 5 minutes. So that's the duration of the experiment. Okay, so maybe we call that as time period. Okay, time period.
You good? Okay, so I'm still having my manipulator and responding. Okay, good, then we shall go C3. Okay, so for procedure C3, right? It seems to be not a necessary part to ask now. This in these recent years, because they might change. They might not ask procedure. They might ask for something else. So, but just so happen this question right now is procedure. So, let's talk about it. Now, procedure basically means the steps here. So we're talking about age, right? So this is the step. So of course you'll be thinking like, okay, fine, this is the part that I'm gonna give up. If there is questions asking for procedure for other experiments, there will be more steps, and honestly that will be a bit difficult for you to remember all of them. So this part is either like a hit or miss lah. Or in future, I'll teach you another method to write procedures. But for now, let's not waste time on that part because you might not get this question anyway. But the procedure is so simple that we will just follow on. What you have to do is you want to measure students' pulse rate by using the stopwatch. We will record it in 1 minute. Then you repeat the same thing for teacher and laboratory assistant. Okay, so it's just simple steps. So for now, I'm just gonna let's just save time. You don't have to also write the steps. Alright, for the sake of just showing you, I'm just gonna copy and paste it. So for you, right, you can write the title first. You can write the title procedure. Then you can leave it empty for, I don't know, maybe six lines or so. Assume we write this step by step lah. It's already here, but it's okay. We're not gonna do it now. So it's okay. Leave it. You skip maybe 6 lines or 7 lines. Estimate how much you need to write. Then you do this later lah. Like when you're free lah. You can copy down the procedure. Okay. Yeah. So that will be your number 3. You good? So don't worry about the steps, because there will be another method to do it, but that's not for now lah. Because I feel most of the time that you will not see procedure in your essay, in your experiment question. It'll be something else. They ask something else. Okay. You good? Okay. So let's skip. You got your space. So I'm gonna continue with. What are that one? Okay, I'm going to continue with number 4 lah. Okay, so number 4 will be tabulation of data. Okay, tabulation of data means draw a table, to show your result. Okay, also what you need to do is just draw a table like this one. So I'm going to make use of this part. Okay. So for you, this one I need you all to draw. You don't have to skip it. So you draw a table and no answers needed, leave it, because that's not the point. The point of this tabulation data is to show teacher if you know how to present the data. So you need your manipulated variable, that's the most important thing. And you need your responding variable, that's the most important thing. Okay. Then you write 3% like that, 1, 2, 3. So, and also it could be a new way of asking. Another way of asking tabulation of data is the question does not ask tabulation of data. The question asks for what do you think as the result? Like what will you observe? For real, what will your eyes observe? So, meaning that is to write down the answer, to write down the result. You understand? Let me repeat again. So number 1 is either question asked for data like that, tabulation of data, or question asked for state what could be observed from the experiment or the results that you may obtain. Then this one you for real gonna write the result. So obviously what we have here is we realize student has the highest pulse rate compared to everyone else. I don't know what's the number, but I can be sure that students has the highest pulse rate compared to teacher and laboratory assistant. Okay, so after you draw this, I'm just gonna extra write another answers for you just in case you see this question. Okay, which is to ask for your observation. So you write the pulse rate of the student is higher than teacher and laboratory assistant. Okay, this is another answer for another kind of question if they ask for observation. Okay. You good? Then this will be a complete step of writing experiment. So you have 1 mark, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 10 marks. These are the sort of the simple steps. Yeah. And hopefully you will see this question in your exam, because you have no other experiments so far until chapter 5. Okay, all good. Right, then we shall get into chapter by chapter. If you are done, let's move on in 10 seconds. Okay, shall we? Let's go. Okay, so I need you to return to the first part. Okay, we go chapter 1 first. Where's my chapter 1? Okay, chapter 1. At the meantime, you can have your short notes side by side. So I'll try to do both at the same time, meaning we want to do exercise and then we want to also study a bit to get you into the syllabus, right? But the rest, you have to do the studying at home. I'm not going to get into every single corner. So chapter 1 is about your science lab stuff, like the things you wear, okay, the equipments that we use, and then we'll see what we have. We go one by one. So I think I'm going to choose a few questions we use. So I go to question 2 first, which is page number 4. Page 4. Yum. Okay, safety in the laboratory is an important aspect which needs to be given attention by teacher and students when in the laboratory. Okay, so question number 1, state one type of accident that may occur and justify your answer with example. Okay, speaking about accident, it's here, the first page, but the right bottom. So see, so many experiments. Okay, so you all can choose anyone or any two, any one experiment and give example. So for example, if you say let's say hand cut by glass splinter then you need to explain like what do you mean glass splinter. So you can say such as a broken, so usually what we break in science lab is broken thermometer, or such as a broken test tubes. You okay? Can you all start writing on the line? So you write this one, then you can say due to what. Let's say you want to say small fire due to chemical explosion, something like that. Okay, or due to gas leakage. Okay, so you'll choose one, and then you can write the due to what. That one not here, that one you need to add on now. Okay, all good. Okay, like next one. So, diagram below shows a student was conducting an experiment in laboratory. Okay, so this must be things that we wear. So question number 1. What is the personal protective equipment worn by the student? So based on picture, you can tell what extra things that he's wearing, right? Okay, so you choose one from here if you're looking for the equipments that we wear. So you choose one. And then I think the next question is, why do you need to wear all these things? So no matter what you wear, goggles, face mask, the ultimate reason to wear all this is to protect yourself or to avoid injury, right? So you can choose one equipment. Sorry, 3. I just saw the mark. Sorry, my bad. 3 equipments. And then the next reason will be to avoid injury. So never mind, I'll stick to this page. You're just any 3, but at least what he is wearing, I guess. What he's wearing. Okay, then the second one will be to avoid injury. I think just make it simple, right? To avoid injury or to protect our body from injury. Okay, Harris is exposed to acid spill on the skin of his arm during experiments. So suggest one equipment that he needs to use to handle. Wait. Spill acid on his hand. Equipment to be used. I think equipment means here, this one. Okay, so I mean, if you look into this, what equipment likely to be used when you kena acid? Takkan you go to the fume chamber, right, to absorb away the fume. So to kena chemical and kena acid, all this you want to quickly rinse away. So the best equipment from what we learned here should be safety shower. Safety shower is to flush it away straight away, all the chemicals. So the next question is why you want to do this. I think so. Let me read again. The importance of the equipment that you mentioned. Okay, that means why you want to use it that way. I think we can copy this one. Immediately clean and rinse the body parts or clothing that come in contact with the... Okay, so you copy it exactly, but you change these chemical substances to acid, because isn't that the question? Yeah. So we just change to acid. So the first part is to talk about safety shower. So that's your answer for this one. What equipment? So safety shower. Okay. And then second part, why so important? So we can copy here. But you change this to acid. Okay, go ahead. Okay, good. So, next one. The heated solution splattered into student eyes. What immediate action should be taken? Okay, for 2 marks. These are always the standard things to do, which is number one. I think we did this even in Form 1. Number one, you need to tell your teacher. You need to inform your teacher. Number two, kena whatever it is, you need to wash away quickly. So you need to rinse away with a lot of water. Whether you say eye wash station or not doesn't matter, because maybe you are caught up with the word, right? Oh, kena eye, so wash eye wash station. But that's not the main point. You can wash on basin also, but as long as you wash away, rinse with a lot of water, right? Okay, so yeah, that's the first one. You rinse with a lot of water. And number two, you want to tell your teacher. That actually sequence doesn't matter lah. You can terbalik. Inform teacher first, then rinse your eyes also can. Okay, you good? Okay, right. Let's get to the next one. Okay, I think question number 4, page 5. The next part will be things that can throw into sink or cannot throw into sink. So things that can throw into sink are low concentration substances or non-hazardous to environment and to living things. And then things that cannot throw into sink are things that are hazardous and can pollute the environment. So actually quite a lot. Quite a lot of things to prohibit. So this one is as long as the the pH value is between 5 to 9. pH 5 to 9. So a little bit acid, a little bit alkaline is okay. Weak acid, weak alkaline. Okay, so anyways, let's see what do we have. I think the question wants you to differentiate. Unlike you want to separate into all the substances here, you want to split into can throw into sink, cannot throw into sink, right? So I'll give you some time. So please help yourself. I think the reference is here lah. Okay, I stick here lor. You all can choose. Okay, it should be okay, right? Quite straightforward, yeah. So things that can disposed into sink and whatever is not in the list will be the other side lah. I guess that's straightforward. Yeah, you'll complete the substances. Okay, neutral substances, weak acid, weak alkaline. Then everything else just throw here lah. So just memorize these three, then the rest you don't have to lah, because automatically it belongs to the other side. Okay, all good. Okay, next, biological waste. Okay, speaking about biological waste, this one. So we split into 4 categories lah, but I think first of all the question is asking for definition, right? But I don't have it here lah, because this is a short notes anyway. So biological waste basically means biological substances or things that have in contact with biological substances like tissue lah or syringe lah. So all these considered as biological waste, okay, are things that you want to throw away. biological substances, disposed biological substances, or is hazardous, biological hazards. And might as well, for C, I don't have it in front, but what's the purpose of all this SOP? Why must we separate into like category? Because then we know the proper way of handling. Okay, so we will have proper SOPs to manage for the purpose of managing biological waste. Okay, so how can we categorize the A, B, C, and D? So the simplest way to memorize is this. So to me, category A, right, are sharp waste, because the alphabet A is sharp, right, at the top, at the tip, sharp. So that's how I remember, sharp. Then category B are things that are not sharp, because the alphabet B is rounded, right? So not sharp. And then C is carcasses. So you follow the alphabet of C for carcasses. And then D will be what? D will be liquid. Anything that is in liquid form, like blood, serum, and whatnot. Okay. So yeah, there you go. These are the 4 categories that I memorized. So you can write down the categories, the substances onto the box. So here, okay, boom, sharp, non-sharp, carcasses, fluid, liquid. Okay. Okay, then let's move on to the next one. Okay, good. Okay, next. What else to? Okay, there's also just to top up on the accident part here. So other than all these little accidents, right? So we also have chemical spills and mercury spills. Okay, so the steps are pretty similar. Number 1 is to tell teacher. Number 2 is to form a restricted zone. Like you ask your friend, hey, don't come near, hey, dangerous, right? Don't come near restricted zone. Number 3 is what is different here. So if it's normal chemical, we will just use sand to form a boundary so that the liquid or whatever the chemical doesn't flow away. If it's mercury, right, it's different. Number 3, we sprinkle sulfur powder. So the point of sulfur powder here is to stabilize the mercury. So when mercury mixed with sulfur, right, it will not be so reactive anymore. So it will not be so dangerous, and it doesn't evaporate into the air. If without sulfur, mercury itself can evaporate into the air. Then when you inhale, right, we all will get mercury poisoning, which is it causes nervous system problem, digestive tract problem, your respiratory, kidney. Okay, so that's the difference in step number 3. Then this one you scope up and you dispose safely, but for this one you have to call fire department. Okay, so these are the the extra accidents that we have: common chemicals and mercury spills. Okay, good. All right. Then let's see, what do we have next? Okay, the next one will be fire extinguisher. You need to kind of memorize the types and what type of fire they are suitable for. But before that, you need to understand that these are the types of extinguisher we have. We have water extinguisher, foam extinguisher, carbon dioxide, dry powder, ABC. Of course, water is not just water lah. You have water in the toilet lah. Why would you want to put into a metal container, right? So it's just water and some chemicals for extinguishing fire. Foam is like bubble like that lor. Carbon dioxide powder, dry powder, ABC. Okay, so different fire require different extinguisher. So this is how you can quickly understand what are they for. So water is quite limited. Water usually only for class A, which is anything that is in solid state but it catches fire. You know, like wood, paper, your curtain at home, solid stuff. Very limited. And that's it. Not suitable for liquid, not suitable for the rest. Quite sad, but I don't know why do we still use it, but we don't actually. We mostly use dry powder and ABC nowadays. But nonetheless, this is the first type of extinguisher. Okay, foam is to extinguish fire that is solid and liquid, not suitable for gas. Because gas will be a lot lighter than foam. So when you want to extinguish, you want to use something that is lighter to cover that thing. But or else if you don't cover, then there's no point. Not good for metal because it is metal is sensitive, metal is reactive, so foam could be dangerous. And no electronics because foam is sort of liquid type, not good for electricity lah, because liquid, right? Liquid is not good for electricity. And fats also. Yeah. So the rest will be more versatile. Carbon dioxide is good for it's good for B, C, E, and F. So not good for solid. Okay, good for liquid, gas, metal, electronic, because it's quite versatile. Gas is quite versatile. And then dry powder is almost for everything. Okay, and then for ABC is basically for ABC lah. I think the name is quite straightforward lah. It's for ABC. Okay, you good? So remember a few fundamental. If something that is very light on fire, you want to use something that's even lighter. If something that is already very light but you use something heavier, like oil is on fire, but you use water extinguisher, then it will go down, right? Then you don't cover. Yeah, that's the first thing about density. Number two, metal is very sensitive, so usually there's not much choice, only for carbon dioxide. A dry powder will be more suitable. And electronics, no liquid stuff. Okay, and fats is almost same as like class B. Fats are lighter, right? Or oil, basically. Okay, you good? Okay, then how to use fire extinguisher? PASS, pass. You want to remember the acronyms. So you want to pull the safety pin. Number two, you want to aim the nozzle correctly at the fire and then squeeze the handle. And then sweep means you go left and right. Okay? So agak-agak you remember like PASS. Okay, then we have DIY fire extinguisher. So like in Form 3, you'll have like this last question. You need to do some drawing, you need to do some creativity, modification. Yeah, probably this will be the part also to ask you to modify or to produce a simple fire extinguisher by given ingredient. So the main point here, right, is to produce CO2. So to produce CO2, right, you need to have vinegar, you need to have acid and carbonate stuff. Soda bicarbonate, vinegar and carbonate stuff. Okay, then that will produce CO2. CO2 can extinguish fire. Okay, so let's try. So I think I'm going to do number 9. Question 9, page 9. Okay, so label the color of the extinguisher. So yeah, you need to remember the color. So water is red color. By the way, the colors are here. So it's red, cream, and black. So you can do like X, Y, Z like that. Then you can label. Okay.
You good? Okay. Based on diagram above, state the type of extinguisher that is suitable to extinguish electric. Now remember, electrical fire, no liquid stuff, no water stuff. So actually, quite obvious. No water, no foam. So it has to be Z. Okay? Yeah, Z. 2 examples of burning material can extinguish by Y. Foam is quite limited. Cannot be electrical stuff, cannot be metal stuff, must be something heavier than foam. So I think you're only down to A and B, class A and class B. So any solid stuff will be good. Solid stuff. 2 examples of solid. You got a few here, right? Solid stuff like wood, paper. Go ahead. Yeah, wood and paper. Straightforward. Okay, right. So next one. Another type of extinguisher other than XYZ, other than water, foam, CO2, I think you have 2 more to go, right? Other than this one, no. Then you have dry powder and ABC. So you can write dry powder and ABC, but 1 mark only, right? So just 1. Just go ahead with dry powder or ABC also. Okay, good. Okay, so I'm gonna leave number 10 for you. Okay, that's about chapter 1. Chapter 1, there's a few important subtopics. So I think we go chapter 2. I think chapter 2 is very straightforward. Chapter 2, we have only 2 subtopics. I mean, Heimlich maneuver and what else? CPR. Okay, so let's just pick Heimlich maneuver. Let's do CPR first. So you want to turn to 16, page 16. 16, question number 4. Okay, of course, right? The sequence are not super important. Not like you need to memorize the whole sequence of how to carry out, but more like the scientific part of it. So CPR is important to restore 2 things. Number 1 is important to restore blood circulation. Excuse me. Okay, blood circulation, and it's important to install oxygen in the body. Okay, you want to restore oxygen to the body. So therefore, I think these are more important to understand. So when someone does not have heartbeat and does not breathe, these are the 2 things you want to restore. Okay, and why someone would need to have CPR is because of what textbook give you here will be heart attack, electric shock, drowning, lightning. These are the examples. Okay, let's see what do we need, then we'll come back. I don't think I want to step by step. I want to read through all the steps with you. So let's try out the work. So question number 4. Okay, so diagram below shows a man saving drowning victim. Okay, so obviously drowning requires CPR. So what emergency help? So it'll be CPR. So I think you want to get the spelling here. So of course you cannot just write CPR. You have to do the whole spelling. So there you go. Cardiopulmonary resuscitation. Okay, good. Okay, like next one. State 2 important techniques. That's the 2 things you want to have, right? Chest compression and mouth to mouth. That's the 2 most important concept behind CPR. So like straight away, chest compression and mouth to mouth resuscitation. There you go. Okay, after receiving the emergency help, the victim shows signs of consciousness. That means at least he's breathing already, must not be completely conscious. So what's the next step? Okay, so according to the steps, right, the last part here, if the victim regains consciousness, so you have to put him to the side, meaning there's no need for chest compression and mouth to mouth already. Just let him lay so that you can so there's more oxygen to go in. It's easier for breathing. Okay, so yellow, place the victim by his side. Okay. Okay, do the victim needs to be taken to the hospital, and justify your answer? Of course, you still need to go to hospital. So yes, you need to go to hospital. Reason is you want to see if there's any further complications. You want to see if there's anything else that needs to be aware. Okay, let's even look. This one sounds a bit too long also. So you can just say yes. Why? Taken to the hospital for, maybe you can stop here, for further examination. The rest a bit lovely lah, to be monitored for a period, to detect any complications. I think no need lah. You can actually stop at examination. Okay, then we go for Heimlich maneuver, the choking one. Heimlich maneuver. Okay, all good. Not writing the whole thing, right? So we can actually stop here. Don't have to write the whole thing. It's okay. Still got D one. Okay, I thought finish that particular question. Okay, so next page. What would happen if the victim failed to receive oxygen? And why? Okay, so oxygen is very important for the brain usually. So if you don't receive oxygen, brain damage could happen, or actually as simple as death. Okay, brain damage could happen, or death. Okay, what will happen to the victim if the emergency situation in A is not done correctly? Okay, so there's only two things you are doing here: chest compression and mouth to mouth. So what can go wrong? You focus on these two things. So if it's chest to chest compression, the only thing you could go wrong is you break the ribs. You don't know how deep you should go, you press too much, or you pump too little. So probably you can break the ribs, number one. Number two, mouth to mouth. What can go wrong? You didn't blow enough of air into the lung. Because usually when you blow into the mouth, right, if you don't close the nose properly, the air will escape through the nose. If you close properly, then the air will go straight into the lung, and then you can see the chest rise up. It's like blowing balloon like that. When you then the chest pop up and then go down. That's the correct way. But what could go wrong is you did not actually blow enough of air into the lungs. Okay, so these are the two things, but you can choose one. I'm just gonna show you both. So either you can break the ribs, or the air did not actually go into the lung. Okay, great. That was CPR. Okay, so we go to choking. Heimlich maneuver. Excuse me. Okay, let's go. Okay, choking 19, page 19, question number 7. Okay, Heimlich maneuver, very simple. Heimlich maneuver is basically for people who is choking. Choking basically means that there is substance or object or food blocking your respiratory tract. So went into the wrong place. So you're supposed to have the food into your esophagus, which is where you swallow food, but you went to the trachea. Okay, so then you don't get enough oxygen. When you don't get enough oxygen, it becomes dangerous. You can have brain damage and you can die. Okay, so again, the steps not super important, but at least you know roughly how to do it. I'll leave the reading for you. I think we can try to work straight away. Let's see what do we have. So what happened to the man? Obviously, choking. Takkan singing, right? Okay, so like choking. How could the situation that you mentioned in A happen? What do you mean? Why choking? Because you sing while you eat, or you no lah. Of course, we're talking about scientific answers here. Why choking? It's because the respiratory tract is blocked. Okay, so I think this is the answer. You can copy this down straight away. Okay, good. Then the next one. Okay, let's go. What emergency aid should be given? So obviously, Heimlich maneuver. Okay, so spelling law, just make sure you don't spell wrongly in exam, because names, right? You can't spell them wrongly, then you won't get correct. You won't get marks for spelling wrong. Next one. A pregnant woman was found lying on the floor of restaurant because she choked, right? In your opinion, what sort of emergency aid must be given? I mean, what else? Choking, there's only one way out, right? Which is the same thing. But I think the question is just trying to confuse you. Oh, pregnant woman can do man, can Heimlich maneuver? Because Heimlich maneuver is where you have someone behind you will have to push against your abdomen area and push your lungs upwards. So then the air can force the stuck object. So pregnant woman having a baby, right? So then you'll be thinking really man, can do man? You have to, because if you don't do it on a pregnant woman also, the mommy will die, the baby will die together. So you have to do it, but slightly higher, not on the abdomen where the pregnant area is, but more like on the chest. You have to do it no matter how. So push on the chest so the air could force the object out. So you still have to do it. So give reason for your opinion. You have to do it no matter pregnant, old people, young children, or even baby. You have to do it to expel the object so that your airway can breathe again. Okay, there you go. That's Him Lake, pretty much like that. So get through the details like the steps of Him Lake maneuver, the steps of CPR. At least you get a basic understanding. That's the only two subtopic we have in chapter 2. Yeah. Okay, we go chapter 3. Yeah. So we'll do 1, 2, 3 lah. We'll do 3, 4. I'll do it in normal class. Okay, let's go. Chapter 3 is about health parameter. That means how can we know if someone is healthy or not? These are the 4 things. There's only 4 subtopics. These are the 4 things that we can check on, which is body temperature, pulse rate, which we did with the experiment just now, and then blood pressure, and then body mass index. So these are the 4 things. So maybe let's start off with body temperature. So body temperature, okay, nothing in your body should go up and down. It's always going to be the optimum stage. So a best or a normal body temperature will be about 37. Anything higher, lower, something wrong. So these are the types of thermometers we have. So let's see what we have and we'll look for the question, the answer. So I think I'm going to do this. Page 24. Question 4. Okay. You good? Kaijun, you so far so good? You alright? Okay, correct. So question number 4. Now, diagram below shows a clinical thermometer to measure body temperature. Okay, so why is the laboratory thermometer not used? By the way, laboratory thermometer versus clinical thermometer. So clinical thermometer is just specialized in measuring body temperature. So it's about 35 to 42. Laboratory is a long one, -10 to 110. Now, the main difference here is the accuracy. And number 2, the main point is here. Why laboratory not suitable is because there is no kink. Kink is like a bump in the thermometer. You slow down the mercury. It's like car like that on the road. You have a bump just to slow down the car. So then the reading will be more accurate. The moment you remove from the mouth to doctor's eyes, the thermometer can drop a bit. You want to have the kink. So therefore, laboratory is not suitable for body temperature because simply there's no kink. So therefore, not accurate. So let's see the marks first. Yeah, correct. 2 marks. First thing first, no kink. No kink, then it will drop after removing. So not accurate. Okay, so why does clinical thermometer have the range from 35 to, we just mentioned, because you won't get lower than that, you won't get higher than that because you'll be dead, right? So no point to have too much of numbers. So why lower? Why not lower, not higher? Because we won't be there anymore. But I mean, of course, we're not going to write that. We will say because body temperature won't drop more lower than 35 lah. or won't rise more than 42, because we will be dead. Okay, good. Next one. Okay, why should a clinical thermometer be shaken before putting into the mouth? Actually stated here. Why must be shaken? Because you want to make sure that you start with 35. 35 is like a zero like that. You don't want to start with 36, which is like having reading already. So you want to start with 0, then baru you measure. So why must be shaken? You want to make sure that the thermometer, the mercury in the thermometer goes back to original state. So there you go. Okay, diagram below shows a type of thermometer. Okay, so obviously this is called the infrared lah. So how can temperature be detected? Okay, so when infrared from the device goes to our forehead will reflect the infrared, the heat back to the device. So then the device will pick up the signals. This one is not from your text or syllabus, but it's okay. The simple way of answering is the infrared is to detect the heat from the head. Then the device will show the result. Okay, so if the device is used for children, what is the temperature that indicates fever? So very simple, our body temperature is 37. Anything higher than that? And why fever? Okay, so it's not a bit lebe, but let's talk about it. So fever, right, is not the bacteria that cause you fever or the disease that cause you fever. It's more like a symptom, or your body tries to raise the temperature to shoo the infection or to shoo the bacteria and viruses away. Because when your body temperature goes up, that's not the optimal temperature that they like it. So that's a way to like, hey, go away, this is not your place. Okay, so anything more than 37 is fever. Number 2, you want to kind of to shoo them away, to make it a not comfortable temperature so that they won't grow too fast. Okay, good. Then I think pulse rate, no need lah. I'll leave it pulse rate because we did the experiment. So I think we go for blood pressure, which is the next part. Blood pressure.
Okay, so speaking about blood pressure, there's two types of pressure on our body. So we have systolic pressure and diastolic pressure. So systolic pressure refers to when your heart contracts or pump blood away from the heart, okay, or I should say blood going out of the heart. So 120, bigger number, systolic pressure, stronger pressure, pushing blood away from the body, okay, from the heart, I must just say, from the body, from the heart. Diastolic pressure is the blood that comes back, okay, that comes back to the heart. So that's when your heart muscle is resting or is relaxed. Okay, so smaller number, 80. So the number will be 180 over 80, 120 over 80, mmHg, millimeter mercury, millimeter mercury. Okay, so very simple, 130 over 80. If it's 140/90, that considered as high blood pressure. That's the starting of high blood pressure. 140 over 90. Okay? Yeah, so pretty much like that. Very simple. The pulse rate, let me maybe just brush up a little bit. So the parts that we get pulse, right, it's called a pulse point. Pulse point are area of the body where you can feel the pulse rate. So usually are areas that are thinner in skin or they are very close to the joint, like for example, wrist, the back of the knee, the back of the elbow, the inner arm. So these are called pulse point. Okay, these are the factors. So generally we have 70 to 72 beats per minute lah. In 1 minute we beat about 70 to 72. That's for male, and female will be 78 to 82. Okay. Then age were the factor we did in the experiment just now. So the older the age, the lower the pulse rate, and vice versa. Physical activity, of course, the more vigorous the activity, the more active you are, the higher the pulse rate. Vice versa. Okay, because you need to supply more oxygen to the body. So pump faster to supply more blood flow. Okay, health level, too high, too low pulse rate is not healthy. It's always in the center. We don't want too high and too low. We want right in the middle. Okay, fitness level. More athletic person will have better heart muscle, so their pulse rate will be a lot lower, because for every pump will be more efficient than people who don't do sports. So heart is also a muscle to be trained. Okay, so anyway, I'm not getting to the question because we kind of get through it just now. So maybe let's do one blood pressure question. So let's get into 25, page number 5 lah. No, question number 5, page 25. Okay, so name this device. Okay, because there's a screen, right? This is something we use at home. So, where is it? Okay, so we will add on the word digital. Digital sphygmomanometer. Digital sphygmomanometer. So spelling, make sure you check it out. Right, correct spelling. Okay, all good. Then next one, explain the condition of heart muscle when blood pressure is like that. Okay, so what happened to the heart muscle? That's the main point we want to answer. But because of 2 marks, right, I think we need to mention the name. Like 120 is bigger number. That's called systolic pressure reading. And then this one is diastolic. But back to the main point. What happened to the heart muscle? I remember systolic means you pump blood out of the heart, meaning your heart has to contract, means you pump, you contract. Diastolic is relax, come back, diastolic. So relax. So that's what the main point is. We want to focus on heart muscle. Okay, so mainly your reference is this one. Okay, contract or relaxed.
So I'm going to start with the name, systolic pressure. When your heart muscle contract, diastolic pressure, when heart muscle relax. Okay. What is the reading that shows high blood pressure? In other words, hypertension. Just now was 120 over 80. So on top will be another 20 extra, so 140. And then bottom will be a 10 extra, so 90. So I have to remember a bit lah. So it's 140 over 90, even at rest. That means when you're just there doing nothing, sitting down, the pressure is also such high pressure that consider high blood pressure. Because if you say you do sports, you running, you swimming, high blood pressure is normal lah. But the thing is at rest. Okay. Okay. A doctor confirmed that patient K had high blood pressure. How does the doctor determine that? That's so weird. The question. How doctor knows it's a high blood pressure? Okay, first thing first, you have to test the patient's blood pressure, right? You have to test the patient's blood pressure. And meaning we elaborate this one. The doctor found out that the systolic is 140 above and the diastolic is 990 above. This is how we determine. So basically is this, but further elaboration. Okay, so like of course we measure blood pressure, number one. Number two, the systolic pressure, 140, diastolic pressure, 90. That proves that you have high blood pressure. Mm. Okay, then we can go for BMI, the fourth indicator. Okay, moving in 10 seconds. Okay, let's go. BMI. Okay, very simple. It's just a little calculation going on. So BMI is actually body mass over height square. Body mass against height, or mass against head, against height. So height must be in meter, but square lah. Let's say if you're 180 meters, so it'll be 1.8 meter square. Okay, so this is the reference lah. Any lower than 18.5 will be underweight. 18.5 to 24.9 will be desirable. 25 above to 29 will be overweight. 30 above, obese. So, like I said, our body is never about higher, lower, better. It's always the middle. The balanced state is better. Overweight, underweight, no good. Both have problems. Even underweight also have problems like decrease in immunity lah, heart diseases lah, always very tired lah. Okay, how to increase mass, how to decrease mass? It's about makan lah, all this. Okay, it's about lifestyle and consumption lah. Okay, let's see what we have. Number 8, question 8, page 27. Okay, question 8, page 27. So first will be definition. Okay, let's copy this down. So body mass index is the measurement. Yeah, so basically this is a definition. So body mass index refers to measurement of body mass against height. Then might as well you write the formula also. I think the next question is asking for the formula. Okay, all good. Okay, next. Okay, let me just also write this down. So mass kg over okay, so the next is very simple. Just throw in the numbers into calculator. Then you'll be able to calculate. So for example, the body mass index for A will be mass over height squared. So 45. So in calculator, you press 45 divide 1.5 square. You should be doing the same thing for the rest. So 45 divide 1.48 square. So dum. Should be able to find. So maximum 2 decimal place. You want to round up to maximum 2 decimal. Okay, should be pretty straightforward. So you literally just punch in the number, and then you should be able to find. So 45 over 1.5 square, 45 over 1.48 square. So I'm just referring to answers. So this is 20
This is 20.54. This is 28.54. This is 19.51. 19.53. So round up lah if there is any needed round up. Okay. So then refer to the box, the guidance, and you should know who is like obese lah, who is uh, underweight lah, and so on. So actually the question is next page. So identify student who is overweight. Overweight is more than 25 up to 30, 25 to 30, 25 to 30. So obviously C. So student C. Very simple. Just write student C. Okay. Easy. As a friend, what suggestion and advice can you provide? I mean, you can write all sorts of funny answers, right? But back to what we learned is here. Okay. As a friend, what can you advise? Laugh at him or what? You know. So not that kind of answers. You have to be on the scientific part. Okay. Or at least from your textbook. Okay. I think to decrease, right? We're looking at how to decrease overweight issue. So there's so many answers you can choose from. So I think we can go for simpler one, like changing your food preparation method. Like how those fitness people always show their meal. It's not fried. It's just steamed chicken breast, less salt or maybe no salt, and so on. So that's how you prepare your food. I think this is a good answer. Or avoid fatty food lah, or sugar lah, and moderate exercise. Or you can say exercise regularly. I think these three are like more straightforward answer. Okay, so either two. So the question is 2 marks. Yeah, 2 marks. Okay, so either two. Okay. Okay, good. Great. I guess that's it for BMI. Extra questions for you lah. Okay. Conclusion. What did we do today or cover today? Number one, paper one objective. You can finish up the objective questions, brush up your objectives. And section C, number two, section C, we did experiment. Make sure you know the steps. You want to revise the steps again before exam. And then we did chapter 1 revision, chapter 2 revision, chapter 3 revision. Chapter 4, we'll do it in normal class. Yeah. Okay, good. Well, I hope I kind of help you to get through some topics at least, so you can finish up the rest of the work with the answers provided in the same link that you'll come into the meeting. So great, thank you having you here. So I'll see you guys again, right? See you guys next week. I'll see you guys someday. Peace, everybody. See you. Goodbye.